Oh no! What a no! Unfortunately, whoa!
Red flag. All stations go red. All stations go red. Rider is still down.
Cameron Beaubier, massive acceleration, nowhere to go, and down goes Cameron.
All I know is I came in there and jumped the curb and went into that left and opened the gas and nothing happened, and my first instinct was to kind of look back and get out of the way because I knew there's a group of guys behind me. It turned out it was like a internal throttle fault of some sort, and I jumped that curb and it did something, and unfortunately stuff like that can happen. And
we can tell you that Cameron Beaubier is up and he's conscious, and he has a cut over his forehead over his left eye. That was quite the scary incident, JP.
Yeah, you just don't like seeing it, and it goes back, Greg, to, you know, the guys he's racing against are all very talented, obviously. So this isn't necessarily a thing where you can put blame on anybody.
You have to put it out of your head when you go back out racing. You only get a short turnaround. I mean, it's pretty difficult how you can have a big wreck or see a big crash there in front of you and able to put it out of your head.
Yep, I've heard it referred to as compartmentalizing, just taking, okay, that's, and you just stuff it into that part of the head. Other people have said it's just have a bad memory sometimes.
You know, Cam's been one of my role models, like, since 2015 when I started racing MotoAmerica, so it sucked that happened to him, but luckily it wasn't any worse than it was, you know.
5 minutes for the restart of Medallia Superbike Race 2. 8-lap race, new grid, quick start procedure.
The new grid for the restart of Race 2 won't include Bobby Fong. After his crash, he's ruled not actively participating to rejoin the race, so he's out. The grid is set to the rider positions as the red flag came out. So Gagne sits on pole, Scholz in P2, and Jacobsen P3. The second row is Herrin, Escalante, and JD Beach. Escalante would have been P3, but his time penalty is assessed for cutting the chicane and puts him back 2 positions.
Looked like PJ Jacobsen got off the line pretty quick, but it's Jake Gagne, uncontested, into turn number 1 as Josh Herrin now goes up into 3rd spot. So Herrin will try to make quick work of PJ Jacobsen as nobody wants to let the number 1 get away early on.
Yeah, that BMW gets over, and you just look at Herrin, he's riding around the outside, trying to ride around the outside of PJ. PJ closes the door in that turn 4 area, but again, that BMW, I love how it goes up over that wheelie hill in front of all of our spectators on the hill over there. Watching PJ, the bike looks super smooth and comfortable up over the top of that hill.
I just don't want to be putting like so much, I guess, pressure or light on myself right now because I won in Brainerd, you know. I mean, I know, you know, where the real competition is, and these guys are no joke. So it's kind of hard to just go out there and be like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna win all 3 races. So it's way different than that, and I know like the talent on the grid, so it's really, really difficult to do that. But I'll definitely be in the fight, and I'll definitely do the best that I possibly can.
Hey, start prepping something that's even softer through the S's in case we get another red flag. Like the bike's pretty aggressive coming through the S's. Like just driving out, the bike's putting too much power to the ground.
Okay.
Whether we want to do it with TC or torque, I don't care. But just that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sequence, yeah.
Gagne looks like he'll get away early, but Jacobsen reels him back in and keeps the pressure on.
So now if PJ can get through turn 1, as well as I know he can, as he pulls up alongside Gagne, is he going to have a shot at it?
Woo, that was a good long look. We're still P2 though.
He might be able to do something with Gagne up in that turn 3 area. It's all about how the bike gets up over that little rise. You can see PJ's bike moving around a little bit, but it's driving forward still.
If he had a steel shoe, he'd be using it right now.
43.5, 43.6 for these guys the last 2 times through. The only other guy in the 43s was that 54 on your screen, Richie Escalante.
Very, very good race. I feel much better on the bike, and I think my team make the bike more calm and easier to ride. So yeah, I think too much excited to finish on the podium in race 2.
Coming at you, this is going to be a barn burner.
You see the white flag is out, and Escalante is through on Schultz.
Oh, we got him! We got him! Can you get Aaron?
He's going to have to put in a lap here to get himself up onto the back of Heron to try to do anything with the number 2, because he has stretched it out just a little bit. Heron back in the 43s. 43.9 for Heron, 43.6 and 5 for Pete. Oh, as Escalante goes down in turn 3.
I guess he was trying.
The momentary lockup, and down goes the 54. Having another great run at it. Unfortunately, on the final lap, his race cut short, but he'll have another go at it. But will P.J. Jacobsen have a go at Jake Gagne?
Yeah, we're too far back. Hell of a run, though. Hell of a run.
The final corner and the run to the checkered flag, and it's going to be Gagne 2 for 2 at Pitt Race so far this weekend.
Yeah. I'll take that all day long. Come on, Barry. Yeah. That was a hell of a ride. That kid did a hell of a job. Great job, Phil. Great job. Good job, Luke. Come on. Great job, Luke. Good job. Great job down there, Grant. P2, a 1/10 of a second off Gagne. I'll take that all day long.
Gagne takes his second win of the weekend. Jacobsen in second. Heron rounds out the podium. Schultz in 4th, and JD Beach with a top 5 finish. Escalante was able to finish the race in 14th. Nobody was talking about championship implications coming into Pitt Race, but Gagne could win the championship with a win in race 3 if Heron finishes lower than second. After crashing out of race 2, Cameron Beaubier is a scratch for race 3 and is eliminated from championship contention.
Have you mic'd up today? Testing.
Bleep. I'm going to see if I can cuss a little bit less than Ed.
I'm as official as it gets. I upgraded after Sarah looked at my photos and I guess they were good enough, so I got the vest on.
Is it just the red thing's been stuck on the wrong tire? Did you actually check the compound?
Yes.
You checked the compound, not the color of the sticker.
No, that red is soft. It's an R3. Well, hold on. All right, that's how we use it, brother.
That's an R3. Yeah, okay.
If he's not, by the time you get to turn 1, he is going to send it up the inside bigger. So just be aware, you know he's trying to make his way through the middle. Yep. So keep your head on a swivel, as they say.
You followed Matty for 17 laps now. You've got to know by now where you can't follow him for another 16 laps, okay? So, like I said, you follow, you know where you're stronger, but if you manage to get a pass done, he's going to try and come straight back at you. So you might have to be a little bit protective. Don't worry about what's happening ahead of you. Just go, okay, I might have to turn in a little bit early because you know he's going to have a go straight back at you, okay? So just you might have to be a little bit protective for a couple of laps when you make it.
Keep in mind with it.
Good? Okay, man, good luck.
getting a little older. I'll be 30 next week, so I'd like to think I'm a little wiser and just do what we need to do to get the job done. And I'm just blessed to be able to ride this Yamaha R1 and race MotoAmerica.
When these red lights go out, we're rolling. Here we go. Gagne with another great launch right in the middle of your screen. He leads us up and over the hill, and it's going to be Gagne with the whole shot again.
Yeah, Herrin got a good jump from row 2, that inside. He didn't get pinched off, which was good. He's going to come up over the top of the hill right alongside, or tried to get alongside Bobby Fong, but that momentum carried him out. But again, perfect start for Jake Gagne. He defends going into turn 3 on that first lap, and look who did slot himself into third. Josh Herrin gets through. I was going to say before the start, there's one guy that's going to throw the kitchen sink at this who does not want to see this championship end today, and that is going to be that number 2. That is the race that we've got to watch.
Before the start of race 3, I saw MotoAmerica post something on their social media about that being a possibility if I didn't finish second. So I saw it right before the third race, and it definitely, I think, motivated me a little bit to try to keep second position.
At the start of lap 2, Herrin makes a move on Scholz in turn 1.
There goes Herrin up the inside. He gets it turned. Can he hold on to it? Doesn't even come close to running on a racetrack. A nice pass after a really good start from Matthew Scholz on the number 11. And there's Escalante right behind him.
But again, this is another really good job by this team to try to get him even more comfortable. I know we're only on the second lap, but Herrin essentially was nowhere to be seen on Friday. He was back in 9th during the sessions, and it looked like he was struggling quite a bit. And with each day that passes, each night that goes on, that team continues to find a way to make him comfortable come race day. And we know how good he is once the lights go out.
After the engine failure at Brainerd, I kind of switched mindset that that's what I was going to do. Like, I'm just going to push, go for wins. I just tried doing everything I could to make sure that we were putting ourselves in a position where if those guys had a year like they had the last year, 2 years, where they were just struggling with, little things happening, like all these gremlins, and that we could take advantage of it.
On lap 3, Herrin is keeping pace and pushing hard to stay in the title chase.
Right now, looking at it, 42.8 for Gagne, 42.5 for Herrin. The other guys are 43.0 for Scholz, 42.6 Escalante. And one guy we haven't spoke about, PJ Jacobsen. There he is, coming back there in 5th place. Didn't probably get the start that he wanted to, but he'll start to try to chip away and move himself forward as well.
Herrin gets aggressive in the new chicane and needs to give up some time after running through the curbing.
So he's going to have to just give up some time. That's a lot. That's a lot of time he gave up. That is more than enough. But good on Josh, because he knows, and he's definitely given up the time that he's lost 2 spots. So, I mean, that's a pretty good penalty for him.
Yeah. So
now he's going to have to try to move back forward. He just got into that chicane a little bit deep.
I gave up a lot of time, 2 positions.
That lap time through on Herrin was a 44.3, Greg. So it was almost 2 seconds slower than the lap that he had done before.
I gave up so much time, but then clawed my way back.
Herrin goes up underneath Escalante. Herrin, again, nice run up over the top of that turn 3, and he's able to slide up underneath Escalante down into that turn 3 area.
By lap 5, pole sitter Bobby Fong has fallen back to 9th.
Bummer weekend for Bobby, considering the fact that he put this bike on pole position, and at the end of the weekend might not have the results that he was hoping for.
Definitely had a shot, I felt like, at least for a podium in the second race. And then in the third one, we just had a little technical difficulties. But, man, it's part of Superbike racing.
4 laps after Herrin ran through the chicane, he makes his way back behind Gagne.
And so Herrin gets it. How much does he have underneath him after having to drift back and really chip away at this?
He's going to do everything he can at all costs to just continue to push this championship as far as it'll possibly go.
Pretty upset that I was like, damn, man, like, how did I let him pass me there? Because I tried to set up that left-hander so he couldn't pass me into the chicane.
On lap 11, Scholz makes a move in the chicane.
Here he goes. He's going to try him into the chicane. He gets it done. A nice pass. And Herrin trying to drive up onto Matthew Scholz. And Scholz already with a couple bike lengths. Looked like he might have been in there a little bit deep.
But look at that Westby bike. It looks good.
The stage is set for a 3rd title for Gagne.
I knew at about halfway through the race when Richard kind of said to me, but up until that point, I really wasn't paying any attention to that. I came into this race with the goal of making sure that Jake could win all three.
With 3 laps to go, Escalante fights for his first podium.
Going up the inside goes Escalante.
Go, son, go.
A little bit wide for Herrin, and the Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki rider gets it done for the moment, but here comes the fight back. No.
Man.
So Escalante holds on to it, at least for this corner.
What a beautiful pass. Very crafty, I'd have to say. Haven't seen too much of that. Look at how sideways Escalante has got that bike now.
Just pushing hard to stay close with Herrin, and maybe in the last 2-3 laps try to pass.
Here comes Josh Herrin. He's going to fight back. He gets it done. And that was all started, as Jason said, over the hill. So Herrin back to third. Here we go, the number 1 plate of Jake Gagne has a look over his shoulder. Onto the front straightaway he'll go. The checkered flag waves, he does the hat trick and wraps up the national championship with this 3rd place finish from Josh Herrin, and a great ride by Matthew Skultz to finish in 2nd. As Gagne turns around and looks at Skultz and he says, "You got 2nd?" And he said, "Yeah," and he's like, "All right." Richie Escalante holds on to 4th over PJ Jacobsen, and JD Beach in 6th place.
I saw on my pit board like 2023 P1, and I kind of figured there's no other reason they would put that on there than if something happened, and I didn't really exactly know where Josh would have to finish. And again, it sucked to see Beaubier go down earlier today, and it, just luck and not his fault. Nobody talked about it in the rig. Nobody said a thing. I kind of had an idea if I won, then I didn't know maybe if Herrin got 3rd or 4th we could do it, but yeah, crazy. This early in the year, crazy. And the biggest priority of the year, the biggest gift of the year is to wrap up the championship for Yamaha. So pretty unreal to do it again. And yeah, just excited to go in the last couple rounds with that weight off the back and just go do some good old racing with the boys. And again, yeah, kind of a wild day.
Consistency pays off for Gagne, as his only finish off the podium was a DNF in race 1 at MotoAmerica. He then overtook Beaubier for the points lead in race 2 in Wisconsin and never looked back.
It's a culmination of all the hard work that everybody does. It's not just, the guy that sits on the bike entirely, although he's the major part of it. But without everything that's behind it, infrastructure, the people that build the bikes, all of us here pulling on the rope in the same direction to make sure that we can give Jake the best opportunity every weekend, that's not going to happen.
Take that helmet off. Let's get this thing on you.
2 years ago, coming into the 2021 season, Gagne was searching for his first Superbike win. Now, 3 seasons later, he has amassed 48 podiums and 38 wins in 56 races.
Put it over. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. Let's go, JT.
The 38 wins puts him 4th on the all-time AMA Superbike wins list, 21 behind Cameron Beaubier.
Everyone feels a little bit better, to kind of back up the one before. And obviously last year was intense, going down to the very last race with Petrucci. That kind of brought like a different intensity to it. Last year I threw away some good results, some podiums, some wins, and dug myself in a hole. And this year was kind of the opposite. If I wasn't able to win, I just wanted to get the best result we could.
This championship makes him the 8th rider to win 3 titles. Josh Hayes and Cameron Beaubier are on the short list of those to win more than 3.
To have those results and kind of be in that book with some of those big names in American road racing, it's just super special, and I'm just super thankful to be able to ride motorcycles, man, and to be a part of this series with MotoAmerica as it's growing every year.
3 race wins on the weekend. When we were heading into this race weekend, did you expect to have the championship wrapped up by the time we left here?
Not at all, not at all. I didn't hear anything about it. The team didn't talk about it. I didn't think about it. We just wanted to try to get some wins, and I saw it on the pit board on the way by, and I figured, wow, yeah, I'm kind of speechless. It's just something I didn't expect leaving the track today.
For me, being a dad, it happens, and it's such a progression, even from when he was 6 years old winning motorcycle races, like his first one he won, motocross stuff. And it becomes, and you got to watch it because it becomes the norm. And for me, it's the norm. For him, it never is. It's on to the next one. It's another battle. Forget the last one. I think this year, mentioning the championship was the first time he'd really raced for a championship. In the past years, it was, I'm going to win it and we'll see where it falls. You know, but this year, I think he decided to just do a little different strategy. It worked out great for him. Can't say enough great things about my son, and he makes me prouder every day.
Did you expect that?
I didn't look. Nobody talked about it, so
I know.
I figured on purpose.
I was last thing I was gonna do was walk in the office and tell you all you need is 9 points. You know, I don't want to put that in your head.
Richie Escalante.
Good job, man. Is that the team trophy?
The defending champion, the newly crowned 3-time Medallia Superbike champion for Progressive presently in Yamaha, Jake Gagne!
I'll take luck when I can get it. It just sucks to see Beaubier go out like that.
Give it up for your 3-time race winner and your 3-time champion, Jake Gagne! In second place, Matthew Scott. And in third place, another great ride, Josh Herring.
Feels good to come back with the crew. A bit surprised.
We never told you because we didn't want to tell you.
I know.
You didn't
I
need
didn't.
to
I
know.
thought it would take like a DNF. I didn't look and.
Yeah, you never want to look. Just win races, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
It's better when it's surprise.
Yeah. You did what you do.
Yeah, well done,
did
guys.
Jake things. Yeah. Doesn't matter whether you win, lose, or blow them up, you still got to load up the truck.
Dude, good job, man. Look at this little guy. Hold on. He's look at you. Look at you. He's so cute, dude. That's your little one. Good, great.
It's so crazy. Every day I wake up, I'm just like, wow, leaving the track today.
Yeah, exactly. That little stomach of his,
fresh
man.
and lean, progressive
He's all
attack
smiley.
performance, this whole crew.
Yeah, we needed more race wins to compete with Gagne this year, and yeah, just didn't have it. We bring Griffin to every race, but Rachel's taking care of him the whole weekend by herself, and also working for the team, and it's a lot of stress on her. So I think it probably feels good to her to see him be able to go up there and make it worth it. So it's that was awesome.
I left my microphone on for you.
The championship is won, but the season rolls on. Cameron Beaubier's dream of returning to MotoAmerica and winning his 6th championship came to a halt after his crash at Pitt race. 10 days before round 8 at Coda, he announced that he was done for the season. He suffered 2 concussions within 3 weeks, and with some other lingering injuries, it was time to heal up and think long-term.
I've learned from past concussions and stuff, head is not something you want to mess with. After talking to the doctor and my team and my manager, Jake Gagne, it's better for long-term to sit out.
Matthew Scholz looks to get an elusive 6th career Superbike win, as Westby has had some bad luck and have not met expectations for the season.
The season has just gone from bad to worse to hitting rock bottom. I don't think people know just how bad it's actually been. You know, they just look at the races, oh, he finished 5th or 6th. It wasn't a very good race, but it wasn't that bad. But at the end of the day, it's a team deal. You got to just roll with the punches, and hopefully one day I'll get luck on my side.
Richie Escalante is still fighting for his first podium on a Superbike.
Austin is close to Mexico, so maybe more people come to support me, so I'm really happy to go there, and maybe why not finish on the podium there.
PJ Jacobsen sets his sights on building consistency on top of his first Superbike win at Brainerd.
yeah, every weekend now you just want to be, you know, near the top step all the time. So, you know, but you also can't get ahead of yourself because everybody in this class is super talented, and we have all the manufacturers there right now. So it's some really good racing for MotoAmerica.
JD Beach is having fun and might be mulling a full-time return to road racing next season.
I've been known to overtrain some, and I want to be the best guy I can be no matter what bike I'm on. And so when I go and train, I ride and ride and ride and just destroy myself. And when I'm going to bed, if I feel like absolutely crap just because it's been so hot and I've rode so much, that's a good day.
Rookie Brandon Posh works hard to get back into top physical shape to finish out the season on a high note.
We're taking this kind of as a learning year, try to get adapted to the Superbike, start building on the things that I'm picking up on and keep going in the right direction. And I think I made another step with my fitness in between Brainerd and Pittsburgh, even though it was only a couple weeks. I've been putting my head down during the weeks, just trying to keep making gains, keep getting my body to feel better and get stronger and start getting my cardio back.
Corey Alexander deals with a very different season than 2022, when he was crowned Stock 1000 champion.
We're trying to get in the top 5 and was just pushing a bit too hard and had another crash. So unfortunately, Brainerd wasn't a good weekend for us. We had two DNFs essentially and 2 pretty good crashes that the team wasn't sure if we had enough parts to make it to Pittsburgh, put it that way. So.
Josh Herron's mindset is to push hard for wins and help set up the team for a stronger chance to contend with Gagne next season.
He is a great rider, but it's not like he's unbeatable. We're just, you know, I'm focused on next year, to be honest. Like, I want to win races this year, but I'm focused on next year and coming back strong and just putting together a really good season on tracks that we know, and I know we'll be fighting for a championship.
This rider, what a mature race he's run. Not mixing it up and throwing it all over the place. He just sat behind Tony Elias until he felt like it was time to pounce. Tony fought back, and Herron waited for his opportunity. As he comes onto the front straightaway, Josh Herron will take the checkered flag and victory here at race number 2 at the MotoAmerica Championship of Texas. You think he's pumped?
Yeah, well, that he just proved something to himself, and I think that for Josh, looking at how he went into this race, for me, that's the best race I've ever seen him run.
At the time, that was the second manufacturer that I'd won a Superbike race on, so it was a big deal to me. For some reason, that's always been like something that I've wanted to do, is win Superbike races on multiple bikes. I just think it's a cool thing to do, and not many people have done it.
Very emotional Josh Herron off the racetrack. Team congratulating themselves as Yoshimura Suzuki goes 1-2. And we have our 3rd different race winner in 3 rounds.
It was a neat win because I battled with Beaubier and Elias for the whole race. Fender exploded in the middle of the race. The front fender came off the bike, and all my friends were I think like turned 19. They were there, but they ran out to the curbing on the track, and we were celebrating, and then I don't know how it happened. Chan just got on the back of the bike, and we just rode into the podium. But it was a cool video. I'm glad that it was caught on camera. It was something special for sure, and I'll never forget that one. So yeah, that was a fun one.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
The heat is going to play a role, as the temperatures will be over 100 degrees most of the weekend.
1 minute to when we could go out if we had a rider.
Replacing Cameron Beaubier is Supersport rider Stefano Mesa. Mesa was Tytler's Supersport entry, sitting 3rd in the point standings with 1 win on the season.
All right, this will be a little quicker.
Wait.
Let's rephrase that all over again. I'm Stefano Mesa. I ride for Tyler Cycles Racing, and this weekend is my Superbike debut. It all started last year at Laguna when Michael, the owner of Tyler Cycles, invited me over to go race the Energica at Laguna Seca for the first time they were going to race it. At the beginning of the year, he called me up and he was like, hey, I know we're running the electric bike, but would you be able to put a super sport program together and you run it?
So the blue button is the pit limiter.
Blue button?
The blue button.
On that side?
On that side.
Do I have to press it or just press it and unpress it?
No, just toggle it.
Okay. Thanks, boys.
Down!
Unlikely to win the Supersport title at this point, he steps in to ride a Superbike for the first time.
Huh? Yeah, neutral is at the top. Huh? So neutral is all the way to the top. Then down for first and down all the others. Then to go back to neutral, you have to press a separate lever.
I have no shoes to fill. I'm riding a motorcycle and I'm not no Cameron Beaubier, so but I want to be Cameron Beaubier and I want to be this fast dude, so we're all for it and you just got to trust the progress to get there.
Man, he makes that bike look really big. Like our bike looked big before, but when you stick him on it, it looks even bigger.
Kyle Wyman said it, hard work pays off and you didn't give up, so I have a lot to learn. I'm young. I mean, honestly, it's the first year I've been working with a full team and doing a full season how I'm doing it. So, I mean, I've had a great season so far and couldn't ask for anything else at the moment, you know. Things fast. Wow.
Westby is already facing issues with the heat, and it's only going to get hotter for the afternoon session.
Bike's at 110.
Bike's at 110?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's at 110, so we need to bleed it.
Oh, the water?
Yeah.
M4 has a little trouble changing out Escalante's spring.
Why won't it come out? Lift the back of the bike up. The bike.
A link and a shock we tried. And it's normally supposed to be a little bit smoother than what it's going, but they're a little bit tight getting in there, so.
You good? Can someone fix that foot peg thing?
The boys were struggling getting it in, but it went in and we haven't turned back since. We haven't changed from that setup.
It was about 93, 94 when I left. It got up to 98 on the back straight. It cooled down to 96 again. And then the second lap on the back straight, it got up to 100.
Okay.
What's up? Hey, go back to the old stuff. It's all fucked up.
What's up?
Like every time I go,
It takes 15 minutes to go back to the old stuff. What's wrong with this?
every time I go down, remember that problem we had at Barber where it won't go? Like I go down to second gear and I get on the gas and it's going up.
Okay. It sounds like the TC's on. I know what you mean. Hang on. The problem is going back to the old software is a long process.
Yeah, I barely made it in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just won't go.
Okay. Same thing from like the Ridge also, right? From the Ridge last year, the first outing in the Ridge in first gear?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is it second gear, third gear, just second
All
gear?
the gears.
All the
And
gears.
third, it's really bad.
So it's worse the higher in the gearbox?
We had a little bit of a rough start to first practice. We started off yesterday trying some different electronics. There's a couple different stages of electronics packages, and we tried running one that we hadn't used with PJ before, which part of it requires a new wire harness and a bunch of new parts physically on the motorcycle.
Would this, keep riding it, would this also make the pit limiter not work? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, Peter says it's related. Peter says it's related.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
So once I go down the gears,
Yep.
I get on the gas and it's just...
The TC's on the whole time, basically, is what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got those sorted really quickly, and we were immediately right back out on track.
Start prepping and find whatever you need to find to go back to the old stuff. So if he comes in with another problem, we're going back to the old stuff. I know it's going to take 10 minutes to flash, but locate all your files and start getting everything ready to go back to the old software.
And then we had another hiccup with the lap timer. So the lap timer was splitting the lap in half. Once we got that sorted, then we got back out and everything was back on to the normal game plan, but we lost 20 minutes of our first session just getting some of the electronics gremlins worked out. So
I just want to make sure we haven't got like an inherent problem, that it isn't the bleeding issue, but I think it is. Do you agree?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Westby pulls the plug early on the session.
No, we've got to bleed it properly because we're f***ing losing the motor. That's the trouble. So.
Huh?
I'm overheated right now.
Yeah? You want to go back out or do you want to stop?
I prefer we stop, kind of.
Okay. Hey guys, stop. He's not going to go back out.
That's okay? Better.
We got a long ways to go.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If I hurt you now.
I know. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you.
Mesa finishes the session early. He's also competing in the Super Hooligans class and is managing the physicality of both classes and the intense heat.
Can you hold that thought for 1 second? Just so this person doesn't leave.
Yeah.
1 second here. Hey, I'm doing an interview. Don't leave. Give me a minute. Can you hear me? I'm doing an interview. I'll be out in like 10 minutes. Oh, my bad. All right, bye. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This has my stuff. I don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay.
That. No, it's cool.
Totally going in the show.
Yeah.
The temperature in Friday's qualifying session is hovering around 105 degrees. It's miserably hot for everyone.
I watch the interviews and they're trying to play it off like it's not bad because maybe it's good in their head to just think that it's not bad, but it's miserable. Going down the back straightaway, it feels like once you click 4th, 5th, 6th gear, the bike just gains like 30 degrees in temperature, 40 degrees, and you just feel the thing just heating up your butt, heating your hands up, and it's impossible not to think about. So.
Track surface was so hot it was actually burning my feet riding the motorbike.
The session barely gets underway, and Bobby Fong drops oil on the track.
Bobby's put oil down.
Look at the junk it's puking out on the track, and that makes it incredibly slick.
I was out there on the race line and I looked up, I saw Fong off in the gravel trap raising his hand like last second. And it was too late already, and I was straight up and down, tucked the front. Bike was fine, I was fine, and got back to the pit, got everything back together. I got like one flying lap, turned out to be a pretty good lap. So
When I'm on the side of the tire and I have to let off, the thing wants to come coming around.
Okay.
Through the S's?
Yeah.
Through the S's?
Yep. Engine braking feels better.
It feels better?
Yeah.
Coming into here?
Yeah.
It's a slow process to learn how to handle a superbike. Small victories are to be celebrated.
Yeah, you were off the brake and you held it full stick.
Yes!
2 minutes.
John's laughing at me.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
I'm still getting used to the warp speed.
1 minute. I've got another rear tire if you want to throw another rear tire later, if this is good, or if you want to just do what you want to do.
Whatever you want.
I don't have to ride the thing, man.
It was spinning already a little bit. It was starting to spin.
All right, so then just make a lap or two to verify this, and then come in, we'll throw a tire. But we don't have a lot of time.
Sounds good.
Around 5 minutes left, Gagne had the only lap under 2:10 until Heron puts in a solid lap.
One turn to go. If he keeps this alive, he's on provisional pole. Nice exit. He's surely going to do it. He does. A 2:09, 4:28 for Josh Heron.
Gagne comes right back and goes under 2:09 to grab provisional pole.
This should be a sweet one. We're gonna see it at 2:08.8, a 2-minute 8:818 for Jake Gagne.
Gagne with provisional pole, Heron P2, Escalante with a solid session sits P3. Beach and Jacobson round out the top 5. Stefano Mesa finishes his first Superbike qualifying in P11. A beautiful, partly cloudy sky hides the fact that there's more humidity in the air today and no break from the intense heat. It's Matthew Skoltz's birthday as the team tries to improve on their P6 position from Q1.
Always nice to have my birthday at the track, you know, just seeing familiar friends and faces. Had my 21st birthday racing in the World Supersport Championship in Nürburgring in Germany. It crashed on the first lap.
Track is open. Green flag, green light to pit out. All stations waving green. This is Medallia Superbike, qualifying 2.
Fong's bike shuts off before he even makes it out.
The engine blew up early in the session yesterday. If he doesn't get a lap in, it's going to really hurt him on the grid.
But it turned off while it said stop at the same time. Turned off, so there's nothing that's standing out.
Skoltz is running P7 when he crashes off camera.
I think we fell down.
Not quite how he wanted to spend time on his birthday.
He's up and going, so whether we'll do the lap chuck, I'm not sure.
Yeah, racing on my birthday hasn't really panned out for me.
Yeah, sorry.
The wrench crew gets the bike working, but Fong only gets in 3 laps.
Bobby Fong out there finally getting a time in. He's 15th and last of the Superbikes right now, way back.
Missed all of yesterday's qualifying and missed all of this qualifying as well, all the way up till, you know, the last 7 or 8 minutes, so not a lot of laps.
All right, he's going to do Freeland Forks, and we're going to go, and then you got to come out. You got to come back in for the rear Q tire. We got to have enough time to change it.
Gagne is feeling confident he has pole locked up and skips the Q tire.
I mean, it was fine for whatever we did. I think it was only 4 laps or something. But
5.
5 laps.
5. Plus the 8. So 4 flyers.
Yeah, I think we'll race that.
All right.
Race that in the 7.
Okay. So do you want to go back out with fresh 7 and 5? Or do you even want to bother? Or you want to go back?
I don't think we need to bother with the Q, do we?
No.
I'd rather get another run in on the race tire.
We're doing the tire. You're going right back out. What do you need? Anything?
Set of balls.
You got them. You just got to use them.
Escalante puts in a good lap with a Q tire and jumps into P2.
On the hammer. Or does he find something in that last sector? Here he comes, second, and less than half a second off Gagne.
A few minutes later, Heron uses the Q and moves past Escalante.
Last turn. Up on the pipe, out of that last corner. Let's see what he does. Second it is. Dead center of that front row.
Gagne saves the best for last as he breaks Roger Hayden's track record from 2017 on a race tire.
On to the power. What lap? A 2:08.169. Roger, you know the numbers. Did that do it?
No.
Oh, a 2:08.184. He did it by 2/100ths.
The grid ends up with Gagne, Heron, and Escalante in the front row. Jacobsen, Beach, and Posh in the second. Yates, Alexander, and Skoltz in the third. After pole position at pit race, Bobby Fong qualifies P12. As everyone battles the intense heat, Skoltz is battling to end his birthday on a better note. Heron looks to contend for another win over Gagne. And Mesa keeps it light going into his first Superbike race.
Jesus! Look at that thing. The whole straightaway.
On the next episode of Pressure to Rise,
This is going to be a hell of a race.
Get him, get him, get him, get him, come on.
He's okay, riders are up.
Come on, Richie!
I guess we got a little work to do at the shop.